Today I thought let's talk a little bit about Jiu Jitsu. Tomorrow is the 18th of May 2022, which marks me having signed up for this club exactly 1 year ago. So, who's this video for? Let me get into that. Basically, this whole channel is about documenting the journey. Right now, this is where I am. And I want to make sure that throughout this, if I do get all the way to the end, I can look back and watch what I've done this whole time and how my mindset's changed. Now bear in mind, this doesn't mean that I'm guaranteed to go all the way. This is a hard journey, but that's the whole point. Instead of me just going to the end and being like, woohoo, look, this is where I am, and this is what I've learned. How about you document the whole thing and you look back and you can see oh, this is what I was like at this point, this is what I was like at this point. Camera angle's bad, but. So that's the idea. And yeah, I'll let you watch the video. Also, a side note, I know this video is going to be terrible, but hopefully you see me progress and everything. It's not just the sport, it's my video editing, my storytelling, my drawing, everything. So yeah, bear with me. Videos will get better, I promise. And if you do like this kind of style video, about the sport, either like the video or text me that you enjoy the video, just so I know what kind of stuff to put out. And plus, this is so personal. If I want to put myself on the mats, then if you guys want, I will do that. But if not, then I'll move on and we'll talk about other things. We've got loads of things to talk about, as we've already discovered. Anyway, love. So, alright, let's see here. These are mostly they're technical, to Jiu-Jitsu, so it's going to be very difficult. Alright, so how often do you train? I think that's one that's pretty simple. So I think in my other gym, I've signed in 100 and something times, so that over 52 weeks, that averages to about 2 times. I try and train 3 times, but because of injuries, it falls off, and then I have weeks off as well. So over the year, it's averaged out to 2, but ideally in the beginning, I was aiming for 2 for the first couple of months, and then I started aiming for 3. So I aimed for 2, and then I aimed for 3, and then that averaged out to 2. So I would suggest anything above 2 or above is solid, you're good to start with. Did you have any injuries due to Jiu-Jitsu? I had 2 injuries. So one, in my first couple of months, a purple belt put me in an armbar, and he kind of done a rolling armbar. At the time, I didn't even know what a rolling armbar was, but I'm pretty sure now, looking back, it's a rolling armbar. All I knew was I was in his guard, and the next thing you know, I was upside down, and I was on a flipping armbar, and he popped my arm. I felt my arm pop, and I couldn't tap fast enough because I didn't know what was going on. I didn't even know what it was until it was too late, and I just felt pop. So he was a waste man. But yeah, there's gonna be very rare people that are like that, and that was a beginner's class as well, so I don't know why he was like that. But that's very rare that happens. But if you go to a bad gym, or if you interact with 1 or 2 bad people, that will happen. Since then, I haven't had a bad experience with anyone. No one's completely smashed out me, or sorry, I should probably bleep that out. No one's just completely just being completely rude. So I think I've had good interactions after that. And then secondly, I had a little injury a month ago, where someone had a hold of my foot, and I kind of yanked my foot out. And because it was gi, he had my foot quite deep in his arm, and when I yanked it out, it was I don't know, something felt weird, and now all of a sudden I got a little bump on my knee, and it's been messed up. So I've had 2 major injuries due to Jiu-Jitsu. I've had other injuries, but not due to Jiu-Jitsu. One of them was because someone was treating me bad, so it wasn't my fault. Second one, it was my own stupidity. So you live and you learn. You realize as you train, it's you can choose the intensity at which you train. That's one thing you don't know as a beginner. When you go into it and you train more, you can choose your intensity for the most part. Not completely, for the most part. You can make it more difficult for yourself if you want as well. So yeah. Okay, what is some advice you would give to you 12 months ago? I don't think I would give any advice. I think I took it pretty well. I feel like I was already taking gym pretty seriously, so I had a good mindset in terms of training. But I'd say like for beginners, I would say just have like a natural, like follow your natural curiosity. I say that with everything in life. Like if you enjoy certain parts, if you enjoy certain instructors, like classes, go to that instructor. If you enjoy certain things, like go to those lessons. For the most part, I feel like the one thing that throws people off in the beginning is it's intimidating going into a martial art and not knowing anyone. So I think for a beginner, the advice that I would give is like, and again, it's hard to give advice because it's like, it's someone's reality. Like if I say to someone, like for example, what I was gonna say is, don't take things too seriously. Don't let it get to your heart. Like if you tap, you tap. It's okay. You move on. It's another role. A lot of people, they don't want to tap because like, they feel like them tapping is like their whole life is over. You know, just when you tap, like have the moment of reflection. Recognize the ability to reflect and think like, I tapped, nothing has changed except for like what has happened and it's just a tap. It's not like you've just said like, oh, I'm the worst jiu-jitsu person in the gym. Like, and one thing to remember is like all the black belts, all the purple belts, anyone in the gym has always been a white belt. There's no one in there that hasn't been a white belt. So as a beginner, like you should remember that everyone knows what it's like to be at your stage. There's a common saying like a black belt's just a white belt that kept turning up. So I mean, yeah, for what it's worth, like some advice is just useless. So I hold myself back on giving advice because you got to understand like everything is part of your journey. Everything, whether you think it is or not. Like you standing in line and waiting to roll and spar with someone and not wanting to spar with them, that feeling you have is part of your journey as well. You need to understand yourself. That whole part, everything is part of the journey. That's the only advice I'll give. Don't take things to be like, oh, this is my fault, or I'm messing things up. Treat it as part of your journey. Think of it as an obstacle that you need to like get over. All right, what's the worst experience you've had? I think this is the last one, and then we get to a bit more technical. Actually, no, there's one more after this. What's the worst experience you've had so far? Oh my god! Not apparently. Imagine this one guy. Yeah, we were sparring, me and my couple of friends, and we were all like, obviously it was a beginner's class, and like later on, my friend told me how this one guy shot himself on the mats, like in his gi, and like no one, like he just kept training, and like he kept rolling with other people, and I was like, what the hell? And like one of my friends that was like rolling with him, like he had realized like there was something that smelled on like a certain side of the gym, and then he went over and like he was like, oh my god, it's this guy, and like he was rolling with him, and he was like, oh my god, I just want to get out of here. So also just to note, like if that happens, like you are completely allowed to say, I don't want to roll with this person, and just roll with someone else. You're like, that's completely acceptable. You might feel like it's not. Again, that's a challenge. You have to understand that like you have to speak up if you don't want something, and obviously deal with the consequences. If someone wants to make you feel bad about that, they make you feel bad about that. But you know, do you want to be with the guy rolling with the guy who shot himself? That, and then there has been like there's 1-2 instances where like there've been people like, oh, this one guy had like the smelliest gi, like bruv, like it was a white gi, like white as this, but like it had turned brown, like it was bad. Like I was like, why is this guy still rolling? Like it is disgusting. And I like a couple other people had like pointed out, like everyone in the gym knows when someone smells and stuff like that. So it's completely okay for you to like, if someone's new watching this, like it's completely okay for you to say like, oh, I don't want to roll with this guy. So don't be worried like, oh, I have to roll with people that I like, don't want to roll with. But yeah, I just kind of sucked it up and just was like, oh, I just want to like, I was just angry at that point. I just want to destroy this guy. Like what the hell? Like this guy stinks. Like just wash your gi. It's not that hard. Like just be hygienic. Like you find that like just clipping your nails before you come, like making sure your nails are short, not having a stinky breath, bro. You don't want to roll with someone that smells and just breathing in your face. Wash your gi every time. Don't, bro. I had this one instant, like it was actually one of my friends. He didn't wash his gi every time he like rolled. Wash your gi every time you roll. Even if you don't spar or anything, like sometimes I just drill and like I'll still wash my gi. You're still rolling with people like that are like, yeah, it's disgusting. Like you don't want to like not wash your gi. Make sure you wash your gi. Wash your gi, clip your nails, and have brush your teeth before you come if you feel like you just ate. Yeah, I think the worst experience was getting injured, the purple belt, like just yanking my arm, and I was like, what the flip? Like, what the hell did you just do? Like, why did you do that? And he didn't apologize. Like, there's one thing saying sorry and like being like, oh shit, like completely forgot, like we were playing rough and like it was by accident. And there's one like you just completely destroying the person because it's like you have the advantage. Like, that's not cool. And then the guy shitting himself, and then the guy with the smelly, just wash your gi, man, please, please. I had a gi, one gi. I've had one gi for like the whole of my last year. I bought the second gi last week, and I still managed to wash my gi every time and still train twice a week. So it's definitely possible, you know. Even 3 times I was training sometimes, innit? And some of them are back to back as well. So not back to back same day, but like the next day. All right, next question is, when did you start jiu-jitsu and what assumptions did you have? So I first heard of it on Joe Rogan, and he talked about how the sport is amazing, and he was talking all like it's crazy, it's really good. Like he hyped it up, and then he said about like, you know, I'm very against hyping things up, but they're like, jiu-jitsu is something I can hype up, and your expectations will never match the sport. I don't, like literally, it won't match the sport. So I'll hype it up as much as I want. Anyway, so I had heard that if you like strategy, so if you like chess, if you like strategy games, and you like sports, this is the sport for you. I love both, and I was like, this is it. As soon as I joined my first class, I was like, yeah, I'm signing up. I didn't even think I'd done my first class. I'm not sure. I think I signed up at the reception without even enrolling the first time, because I was like, yeah, I already know I'm gonna love this. Like, there's no chance I won't. It's so weird to see like how much I progress. It's like I'm a completely different person. I can't look at life the same. I can't live without jiu-jitsu now. So it's completely changed how I do look at life, and everything's been for the better. Especially now working here, it's been like in the last month. I already started working here like a month ago. It's been 28 days, so that's been completely sick as well. Like I just work at a reception but it's just amazing because you're just around like people that are training full time, and it's like giving you, again, the ceiling is crazy high. It's like it's completely different. How's it helped you? What assumptions did you have? What assumptions did I have? I guess the only assumption everyone has is like, oh, I'm gonna be sick. And you just get humbled straight. You're like, okay, I'm not sick. That's the only assumption I think like is unanimous across everyone. It's like, they think they'll be sick. They're gonna be like the goat, you know? You're not. It's like, that's the best part of like the experiences where you realize that you're not the shit, you know? I feel like that's part of the experience. Other than that, I don't think I had any other assumptions, except for actually, you know what I did expect? Like, I expected like once you get to black belt, oh, life is all figured out, like everything's sorted out, like everything's just perfect. It's not. It's jiu-jitsu is jiu-jitsu. It will help you in life, but like, you know, you'll have to figure out life on its own. There's people like black belt that like are still like, you know, you don't understand everything just because you've got a belt. That's one thing I realized. So anyway, next question is, what made you start? Okay, what would you recommend? Would you recommend the sport to others? 100% I would recommend the sport to others. I would recommend it to pretty much anyone and everyone. I just had like 2 ladies here that like, I don't know, in their 40s for sure. One probably in their 50s, maybe 60s. And I did not even like say anything about you can't do the sport. Last week, I think, I forgot what his name was, but someone had in America got their black belt at like 70 something, and they started training at 68 years old. So if you're telling me you can't do jiu-jitsu, it's like there's not many sports out there for you, because jiu-jitsu is not one sport where you need crazy. To a degree you do, but like you can make up for like a lack of athleticism with a good level of awareness and dexterity or coordination, if you will. So if you can move your body in a certain way rather than moving it as quick as you can, if you can move it slowly but you can move it strategically, you'll still be good at the sport. In fact, some of the best players in jiu-jitsu are the ones that are like very, very, very like extremely technical, and they like have a game that's based around shutting down someone else's game instead of making themselves very explosive. Is more the fact that they limit the opponent's options so that they can build their game around that. Instead of like doing what they want to do, they tailor it to, you know, I'm gonna lock down, like I'm gonna like recently, like body lock passing has been popular. I'm not gonna go technical into it. I don't even know it first of all, and because this is the portion where I'm gonna talk about for someone who doesn't want to get technical. Yeah, so like there'll be like things where you can do to shut down people's options to make your game like more effective by like limiting what options they have, you know, by pinning them in onto the ground, if you will. Again, it's hard to talk about if you haven't started it. That's how I'd recommend try some of the classes and ask yourself, did you learn anything? You know, all of a sudden you'll be like, shit, like I just learned what close guard is or side control is, and it's like, it's just amazing. Anyway, would you recommend this sport to others? Yes, I definitely would. I'd recommend it to anyone. I want to get my my little sister in it. I would ask. I've mentioned it to my friends. They didn't really enjoy it or get into it. And again, it's the whole idea of treat anything that comes in your way as an obstacle, as a challenge, as part of your journey. Not something that's like exclusive and it's only your problem outside the mats. This is part of it. If you come on the mats and you're struggling to get here, and you find like your brain doesn't want you to come here, ask yourself, what do you think about? What is it that's stopping you from coming in? That is jiu-jitsu as well. The mindset you need to mold yourself into, to bring yourself to attend the mats more regularly and get over the fear of getting tapped and getting into a bad position, that is part of jiu-jitsu. You know, Hickson Gracie talks about how when he first started jiu-jitsu, he would like he would feel claustrophobic and he didn't want to stay in other people's like at the bottom position because he'd end up there all the time. Like, he hated it. And what he done was he went home and with his brother, he asked his brother to roll him up in a carpet. So he put himself, lay down in the carpet, rolled himself up like in a tube, and he just stayed there. And he's like, whatever happens, don't let me out. And he just stayed there, like sweating and like just staying in his own sweat and just staying as long as he could, just to get over the fear of like being claustrophobic. Everything that's an obstacle is a chance for you to improve, you know? So I'll say jiu-jitsu is a good way for you to set new limits to yourself and set new limits in your life. Like if you come here and you get consistent and you learn about jiu-jitsu, if you have enough reflection, there's no chance it won't change your life. So I'd recommend it to everyone. What's your plan for the next 12 months of jiu-jitsu? I think we're going to get into what was your first submission? This is the last one. My first submission, I think it was I don't know how, but I found someone. I took someone's back somehow, and I'd watched Gordon Ryan like trap someone's arm with his leg. So I just trapped the guy's arm and then like just hit like a rear naked choke. Yeah, I think that's what it was. That, and how long did it take me? That's another good question actually. From imaginary hard shot. I think it took me like a month, or maybe over a month. So I rolled like 10 times before I even got my first submissions, like at least 10 times. So it takes time. Like some people, like I brought my cousin here. He got submissions on the first day. So it's like everyone's different, isn't it? So it's not like you're gonna pick up the game quicker. You pick up the game quicker. You pick up the game slower. You find that like even on the mats, like there's different techniques, and like there's techniques that I love that people hate, and there's techniques that people hate that I love. And you'll find that your personality also shines in your game. So as you develop, like I can see it coming through now over the years. So it's interesting. So everything is like a form of self-expression, if you will. It's a bit of an art as well. But yeah, pardon me as well, by the way. I think that's it. I'm gonna have to like leave. Anyway, I'll see you guys later. Okay, if you guys want a more technical like answer questions as well, I'm gonna do that later. I think for now I'll keep it like this. I'll probably film that today or tomorrow. I need to go to Hammersmith now, to the other branch, because this branch is brand new. So I need to go work there now. So I'll catch you lot in a bit. But yeah, I hope you lot enjoyed the video so far. Anyway, I'm just talking to myself now. Alright, I gotta go. I'll be back. Alright, we're in the London gym. I just got here. Let me show you guys what I meant. So I'm gonna sign in now and we'll see how many times I've been here. So I trained this morning, so if I put this in, don't look at my picture. Oh, don't look at my name, 101. Oh, this is my 101st visit, sick. 1805. Oh, so I've got like three 3 weeks. I guess we've got 3 weeks until I'm. Can you hear me properly? Hello, hello, hello. Hi, it's been a year since I started jiu-jitsu. Wow, look at me. I'm a white belt. Wow, look at me. Wow. Wow, look at me.